got two sort of like memories.
Hello.
Salam and good evening to you, worthy friend. Please, come closer. Too close, a little too close.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Disneybrit Radio Show. Thank you for joining us, as always. It's a small and motley crew this evening, and joining me this evening is John. Good evening, John.
Good evening!
Welcome back from the land of Alton Towers.
Yes, I was in Alton Towers today.
You've made it all the way home in time to join us. And
Absolutely.
welcome, Susan.
Hello!
How are you doing?
I'm doing alright. Did I hear my voice at the beginning
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't know what's
thing?
going on. So I think if anybody's listening to it live, they will have just got your random voice coming in at some point. I'm not quite sure what's going on. But hey, it's all good. So, yeah, it's just the three of us this evening. Katie is once again out in sunny Spain. And after our debacle with the roof wind, we vowed never to let her talk to us from Spain ever again. Katie and her wind have...
I beg your pardon?
Had their last
But on
opportunity.
that note, I'm
What, Katie
on
and
the
her
next... Yeah, Katie and her wind. She's got, you know when she's in Spain,
Terrible wind.
she's got terrible wind. when you guys record the next show, I'm in Spain,
Are you?
but I won't have wind
He says.
because I'm in a hotel with Wi-Fi, so I shall be hopefully joining you guys
It
from
depends
Spain.
how much
So
champagne
no
he's
wind,
had,
but
basically.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
No wind, but Wi-Fi.
He'll be whiffy, but it won't be windy.
No.
And Gareth's not joining us because that thing called work's got in his way. So sadly, he
poor
can't join us
Gareth.
because he's had to go and do work and stuff, which is miserable. But us three are here because we want to say a happy 20th birthday to our good friend, the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Good old
Because,
AK!
yeah, because the Animal Kingdom turned 20, and it was kind of on Earth Day. 1998, and we've had Earth Day going by, and kind of Animal Kingdom went by without much of a fuss really for its 20th anniversary.
We've already established they just wheeled Joe Rody out.
They wheeled
again.
out Joe Rody. He waved, stayed in Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then he disappeared again.
Changed his earring.
Got some small animals to jump through the hole in his ear, circus style.
Yeah, it's part of the new
It's part of the new
Bird of Paradise show.
Bird of Paradise thing. Yeah. Joe Rody's become some sort of circus attraction,
Little traction.
which is different.
I'd pay good money for that.
What, for a bird to go through Joe
Well,
Rody's
good
ear?
news.
Oh
Apparently.
my god, yes.
Good news. Apparently, Disneyland Paris have got plans to launch an event that's going to cost you £3 million. No, we shouldn't be mean. Anyway, yeah, fan days, ladies and gentlemen. I think before we are all going to fan days. Hopefully, you're going to join us there, which will be good.
Every one of us.
How
Been
weird is that?
confirmed?
The entire team are going.
Confirmed.
We've all decided we are Disney bounding together. And
Yep.
if you're going to be there, you'll get to find out what it is that we're doing. But we're going as one big theme, which should be pretty cool. We hope. So, yeah, really, today is talking about Animal Kingdom and our memories and experiences of Animal Kingdom, because we thought it'd be good to talk about our own experiences and memories, because obviously it's the 20th anniversary. So that's basically the plan for today. So just to give you an idea then, so Animal Kingdom opened in 1998, exactly 20 years ago, and was very, very different to any Disney park that had opened before. I remember the hashtag, or the line that came out as tagline was "Not Azul," which is supposed to be some sort of African phrase where it actually was just a translation of "not a zoo." And I think that confused so many people, did it not?
Oh, I thought you were actually just saying not a zoo, but in a funny accent.
No, it was not Azul.
Oh.
Do you not remember Natazul? Does nobody remember that? Is it just me?
No, I don't remember that.
I'm
No.
just gonna have to
you.
find this now, because yeah, it was one of the original. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
You're going to bring back the hashtag? Bring it back?
Hashtag not a zoo. I don't know. I bet I'm not going to be able to find it now. Let's see if I can find something. Here we go. Animal Kingdom commercial 1998. So let's see if it's got it in this. And this is where I'm going to look like a fool.
First came the Magic Kingdom, then Epcot, then Disney MGM Studios, and now... Introducing the most adventurous Walt Disney World theme park ever. Disney's Animal Kingdom. The imagination of Disney. Gone wild.
Well, maybe it doesn't say Natazu in that one, so that's just completely clear that out. Oh, I can't believe it. I thought it was in that one, and it's not in that one, and now I feel very silly. It definitely was Natazu. Aha.
Can you
Hold
spell
on,
it?
Hold on.
Natazu. Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's many, many things, but remember it's
There you go. See, Natazu. I
Oh, he
right.
wasn't making it up, Susan.
I wasn't making it up. It was. I hadn't completely lost the plot. I promise you. See, I'm sure there's lots of people who are now listening to the show, going, "Yeah, I remember Natazu."
Natazu.
It's not just me. I'm sure everybody else remembers Natazu. Anyway, so let's have some memories. Our memories of Animal Kingdom. And who wants to start us off with I think Susan, you've probably got more recent memories of kind of Animal Kingdom to the rest of us, have you not? When was your
Well,
kind
I'll
of
tell you what
first
though, I
experience?
still haven't been to Pandora though. So even
No, I haven't been to Pandora yet. No, it's.
Oh, someone has.
Who's that?
Me.
Oh, who is it? Oh, it's almost like we didn't know.
So no, John, do you want to start?
Yeah,
If
do
you
want
want
to
to,
start us off then?
I
you've
guess-
been the most recent person there.
Well, who
I
was,
guess
who,
so,
When
like-
was your first trip? Let's kind of go back. When was the first year you visited Animal Kingdom?
2004.
Okay. I went
No, sorry, 2005.
2005.
2005.
I was 2000, Millennium Year. Because I went for the Millennium Year. And I visited that year for the first time. Susan?
2014.
Right, so we've got some really different experiences then. Okay, so John, first experience of Animal Kingdom when you first went, what do you remember?
I remember walking in, and just walking in and just instantly thinking to myself, this is not an ordinary Disney theme park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so. I mean, it's even more so now because it's been 13 years since I first went, and then to my 12 years to my most recent trip.
Yeah.
So it was. I remember just thinking it was so lush and tropical, and because of the climate in Orlando, it felt right. I do remember distinctively thinking, oh, there's not a lot to do here.
Yeah. I think on the surface, when you look at Animal Kingdom, you kind of think there isn't a huge amount. But actually,
Exactly.
and I will still, to this day, say that for me, Animal Kingdom can be a 2-day park. And I
spent 3 days there on my most recent trip.
Easily, just for one trip, spend 2 days there. What about you,
See, that's
Susan?
good on for you actually, Adam, because I thought you even thought it was a proper
No,
half-day
I
park.
could quite easily spend 2 days.
I
on
think
Animal
for some people, they do consider it a half-day park,
Yeah, they do.
but I don't think they're taking out of it what you should take out of Animal Kingdom.
No, I completely agree. And now you've got Pandora added on as well. It's more than easily a 2-day park. So, Susan, you're 2014, most recent then. What was your kind of first experience when you walked into Animal Kingdom for the first time?
Kind of the same thing as John. Like, this is definitely different because I didn't really do much. You can say air quote research on it, but in terms of I really didn't. I was more excited for the other parks than I was of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got back home that I felt like I really took it for granted because I didn't realise that was the last time I would ever see Mickey's Jammin' Jungle Parade.
The
Because
Jammin'.
I went the year it finished, to the point of like I went I think I went sort of April,
Yeah.
and it finished in May.
Yeah.
So I really saw the
You
end
only
of
just
it,
saw it.
which I just took for granted because I thought, oh well, this isn't Festival of Fantasy, but I mean I still enjoyed it, but I just didn't really take it in, and I wish I took it in more, knowing that was actually going to be the last time I watched this parade.
Or as we call it, Mickey's Jamming at the Pavement Parade.
Jamming at the pavement.
Because if you were anywhere in the park when that parade happened, you were just like, you might as well just stop and stand still because you aren't.
You did, didn't you? You had to basically be to the area you wanted to be in before the parade
Otherwise,
started.
you were stuffed. That was it. You just had to stand and wait. I remember
I can't believe it lasted that long.
No, yes. I can't. No, I was surprised.
With knowing that problem that it brought.
And it really did. I remember my first experience was entering the Oasis, and bearing in mind, like you say, John, it's unlike any other park. You go into Hollywood Studios, it was Grumman's Chinese Theatre. You went into Magic Kingdom, it was the castle. You went into Epcot, it was Spaceship Earth. You go into Animal Kingdom, and it's trees. You go into obviously the Oasis first, and I remember going through the Oasis going, well, this is a little bit disappointing. There's just trees and hardly anything there. Where's the big centerpiece? Where's the big show off? And obviously you come out the Oasis the other side, and all of a sudden there's this amazing tree that's just stood there right in front of you, and you suddenly go, there it is. And I remember being kind of like really underwhelmed to start off with. I think I remember the coolest thing being that there was a rainforest cafe right by the entrance, and thinking that's different, that's cool. And then you come through the Oasis, came through the other side, and there it was. There was the Tree of Life. There was Discovery Island. You know. And I remember coming away from it thinking how awkward it was to tour. Not that it's really any better now, if we're honest, because of how difficult it is to get from land to land, particularly when you kind of get round to, you know, Pandora's a little bit out on a limb. And Dinoland USA, and you have to kind of go into Discovery Island to come out to the Oasis. I always remember that being a little bit awkward. I remember doing a hell of a lot more walking, or felt like I'd done a hell of a lot more walking at Animal Kingdom than I'd done at any other park.
Yeah, it felt like going from one side of it to the other felt quite long than if you were to go, say, Magic Kingdom the other, because there's so much more to look at.
Yeah.
I think in Magic Kingdom, where Animal Kingdom, as you said, it's quite a lot of trees and a few monkey like swings now and then.
Yeah, hidden around. And obviously in the day I first went, we didn't have Expedition Everest. That wasn't there. There wasn't the whole of Dinoland USA. It was slightly smaller. Obviously Pandora wasn't there. We had Camp Mini Mickey there at the time as well. So it was a lot different looking park than it is.
Did you get to do the original version of Dinosaur then?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that? Was that Dinosaur Countdown to Extinction?
Countdown to Extinction, yeah. That was the original one. The original one was Dinosaur. To be
honest,
it
better?
It was no real difference to what it is now.
Oh, really?
It was just the name that they changed, really.
Even the storyline.
The storyline was pretty much the same. The only difference now is that a lot of McDonald's has kind of disappeared. The only remnants left of McDonald's sponsorship is the 3 pipes as you go into the loading area, which I don't know whether you know about them.
No, I don't.
No.
So there's a red pipe, a yellow pipe, and a white pipe. And if you look for them, they've all got chemical symbols on them.
Yes, they do. And
That's
it's
right.
the chemical symbols for
Tomato sauce, mustard,
Yes.
and mayonnaise. Yeah.
Oh, I heard about that.
It is.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the only remnant left of when when Countdown to Extinction was sponsored by McDonald's. And that was other than that, it's very, very little difference to what it is now. I remember we had Theatre in the Wild, which is where
Tarzan
that's
was.
it. Tarzan Rocks was there.
Tarzan was great.
Tarzan
It was
Rocks
like
was
a cross
amazing.
between Starlight Express.
It was kind of a bit Cirque du Soleil.
And a bit Cirque du Soleil, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Because
really
they were
cool.
all on like roller skates, weren't they?
Yeah.
And trapezes.
And
It was
you
brilliant.
had the Discovery River cruise, which went round, and you were able to see there was kind of a dragon hidden in the cave, and you could sort of see this dragon that was down there, and it was about the only nod to what was going to be the possible
Beastly Kingdom,
which
yeah.
obviously never happened.
It
which
became
was really
Camp
cool.
Mini Mickey.
Yes, it did, and now obviously Pandora. So kind of experiences then. What do you have? What are your sort of standout experiences? Susan, start us off. Have you got any kind of experience that really, really stands out for you?
It's hard because, I mean, I obviously like the sort of the Kilimanjaro safari. I always like that.
Yeah.
And because that's like every experience can be different, and
Yeah.
like I think the bestest I've had on that sort of trek is I've had one of them, is it ostriches, like come right to the what do you call it? Those the vans?
It's a van, yeah. It's like a Jeep
vans
safari
right
vehicle. We'll go with that.
close to you.
Yeah.
So that I think I always have like the experience of that, because as you know, people are like, oh, you're not going to see anything, or it's a very sort of like 50-50 sort of option that you might not get nothing. So you kind of already go in with an expectation that you're not going to get the best out of things. So when you do get something, it's amazing. Still haven't had a whole full lion yet.
Oh, okay.
Really? I've had the lion.
I've had the lion a few times, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, the rock that the lions sit on is air cooled, so that the rocks the lions are tempted to sit there to keep them cool. So
John, have you done that at night time yet?
No, we did have the intention to do it at night time when we were there, but with so many other things to do at night now at Animal Kingdom, it just kind of went to the wayside, because we had already done the Kilimanjaro safaris twice on that trip anyway.
Fair enough.
We didn't do the sunset one, which is a shame, because I have heard good things about it.
Yeah.
But they do like an artificial sunset, don't they? That's what I've heard.
Apparently so. Somehow, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, apparently so.
Do you remember the original storyline for it with the
with Little Red?
The elephant, Little Red and Big Red,
and
then they had to change it because guests were complaining that Big Red's mother was like lying at the edge of the road.
There was that, and you would rush through the second half. Yeah, did you not know about this? Susan? So that the original thing was there was a much bigger emphasis on poachers in the African savannah. And Wilson would come over the radio. As he does,
Wilson!
And he would tell you about there was a poacher scene in the reserve, and you would suddenly become kind of like this rescue vehicle that was chasing down the poachers. And yeah, Big Red was found at the side of the road, and then you would come past a vehicle as you kind of rescued Little Red, and you could see Little Red in the back of the trunk, back of the trunk is the right word, back of the car, and his trunk would come out. And you would kind of finish your experience having saved Little Red and scared off the poachers and that sort of stuff. But the very, very end of the experience of Kilimanjaro Safaris was this kind of sudden manic rush round this really bumpy road, and I think there's quite a lot of people who didn't like it as much.
Oh, wow.
So they got rid of that, and it just became, which is reason why when you do Kilimanjaro Safaris now, the last section of it, there isn't really any animals, because there wasn't originally any animals, because that was the chase section of the original safaris.
Oh. How long was that there for then? How long?
Oh, good question. It's got to be a good 7 or 8 years, I would think.
Oh, okay. So it lasted quite.
I'm trying to think.
Longer than we.
Definitely there in 2000.
Yeah.
It was there in. It was gone by 2005. Yeah, it definitely wasn't there in 2005 when I went. So yeah, it was there a little while, but not as obviously not as long as they anticipated it would be there for. I remember Kilimanjaro Safaris, and one of the overriding memories for me from Animal Kingdom was I read the guidebooks, and they all said that the best time to go to the Kilimanjaro Safaris is first thing in the morning. And I remember being at the park for 6:30 a.m.
Oh gosh!
Because the park used to open stupidly early, and being at the park for 6:30 a.m. and going straight in Kilimanjaro Safaris, and it's the most animals I've ever seen on that safari, because obviously it was so early in the morning, they were all out, and they were all over the place, and there was loads of them. And we did it. We did it at like 6:30 or something like that, and then we did it, and there was a very little queue, so we went back and did it again. And the second experience, because the sun was up and it was warmer, were less animals than the first time round. I really vividly remember doing that and seeing just how many animals were on the first time round.
Yeah, I did read that it's best to go first thing in the morning. That I've had to do the old run to there and leg it.
Yeah.
To make it there. So you're more likely to get on there quite quick now. Actually, now that everyone's run into Pandora instead.
Well, yeah. No one's going over there anymore, are they?
Well, that's what we did. When the day we had our fast passes for Pandora, we went straight to the Kilimanjaro safaris, and it said it was a 10-minute wait, and I can tell you now it was not. We were in one of the trucks, and there was maybe us and maybe 8 other people in the whole truck.
Wow. Okay.
It was empty.
Wow.
And we saw loads of animals, including the lion.
Including the lion. Which is cool.
There you go, top tip.
Top tip, go early. So that's one of my memories. John, have you got one?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of very similar to mine, was everybody saying that you had to get there super, super early.
Okay.
And being part of that kind of opening...
Yeah.
You know, the opening run towards the safaris.
Yeah.
But also, one of my first memories as well is when we went and they were still constructing Expedition Everest, and it was due to open so soon, and it just being so close and yet so far. And then going back the following year and seeing a mountain in Florida covered with snow.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, really strange.
It was really, really weird.
So as well. Okay, that's cool. Susan.
And watching it's tough to be a bug.
It's tough to be a
For
bug.
the first time ever.
Was.
Oh, honestly.
Just being blown away.
First and last for me, I think.
Seeing Hopper, the Hopper animatronic at the time, when the park first opened, that Hopper animatronic was like amazing.
It still is.
It still is, yeah, it still is. But at the time, you know, it was such an advanced thing. It was amazing at the time. That was
yeah, no, I can't go on. That was the first ride at Animal Kingdom. First ride.
First one you ever did?
Yeah.
And you're not doing it again?
I'm not, I haven't done
I've
it
got to admit,
since.
I don't mind the spiders coming out from the ceiling, but the bits poking into your bum, I don't like them.
Oh, no.
I have to sit forward. I have to sit forward on the seat. I can't do it. I did it once. That was enough. Okay, Susan, have you got any others?
I think it's just once again like a sort of like Kilimanjaro Safari. It's just the expectation of not knowing. With the Nemo musical, Finding Nemo musical.
Yeah.
Honestly, watched no YouTube videos, didn't listen to any of the soundtracks. I just went in with like not knowing. I thought it was just going to be something like, I don't know, just like a little tiny little sort of show, nothing or anything at all, until that first like da 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 da.
When that music hits,
I was like, this is gonna be good. And I got goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps now, just like hearing it in my mind. That was a very good moment.
The music in Finding Nemo, the musical, though, is, you know, it was this sudden kind of this. It came out of nowhere, really. That suddenly Disney had gone, I know what we're going to do. We are going to do a new musical for the parks, and this is what it's going to be, and brand new musical and sort of stuff. And everyone was like, Finding Nemo, really? And it became such a hit, and obviously to get such massive composers in to write it as well. It's just so good. Just so
blew me
good.
away.
Yeah.
Just I will see it every time. In the big blue world.
I always like to get.
Oh.
Well, that bit.
I'm crying. Like, there's no like entrance music that gets me like that.
Just good. Anyway, sorry, John, you were saying.
So
I like to get the fast pass, because if you get the fast pass and you get in first, you can get the seats next to the runway.
Yes, so we quite often sit
and
next
it's
to the runway.
brilliant.
Yeah,
there.
it is good there.
Yeah, especially when the scene with Dory and what's the dad's called again? And
Marlin.
Yeah, like comes right at the front, and they do it like la 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 la. That scene. Yes. Right up close.
Really, really good. One of my other memories is it links to John talking about Expedition Everest. I was lucky enough to be one of the first official people to ride Everest, because we went on opening day for Everest, and it was strangely quiet in the park. It was an Easter break, and we went to Animal Kingdom on the day of opening, and I thought, there's no way I'm riding this because the queue's gonna be massive. And we got there, and there was like hardly any people there. Really bizarrely, and I don't know why. But yeah, I remember riding Everest on opening day, and it was like it blew me away. That was the time of the proper Yeti.
See, no, I do remember the proper Yeti. I think I was there just enough after the opening to see the proper Yeti.
Susan won't appreciate proper Yeti.
No, I've never seen.
You've only had Disco Yeti.
Disco Yeti.
Yeah. Oh, what a shame you've only had Disco Yeti.
You've only had Disco Yeti.
So what have I missed? Tell me.
So
you missed Disco Yeti. No, you missed the proper Yeti.
You missed the proper Yeti.
So what was this proper Yeti? What did he do?
What did the proper Yeti do? He moved like this big animatronic Yeti. Have you heard this, by the way?
Hello, baby, sorry, I can't move a thing.
Gotta play this to you.
I haven't been serviced in a while, you say. But it's okay, there's a flashing light on me. Sorry if you wanted more, it's only Disney. It's only Disney.
Have you heard this before?
It's only
I've never heard that.
This is brilliant.
more than a strobe, what you expect at Disney. Disco Yeti is my name, this mountain's where I stay. I used to be ferocious, now I'm just a display. They said they had some plans for me, they put me on TV. Then hung me on the wall like Mickey's hunting trophy. Stop moving, not proving Disney's expertise anymore. Imagineers build what engineers ignore. Bob Iger's got tigers, rhinos, and giraffes by the score. So what's he need working if it could be sport? Disco Yeti.
There you go, Disco Yeti. I remember someone released that at kind of the time when it had obviously gone down and we'd had this flashing light going on. But basically what you missed, Susan, is this massive, it's the biggest animatronic Disney had ever built. And as you went through the mountain, his arm kind of came down and swiped for you as you went past.
Swiped at you, yeah.
And it looked amazing, you know.
But
when
he's
they did
actually built into the mountain. And
Yes.
his movements were causing, I don't know how true this is, but I believe the movements were starting to cause structural damage
And then he
to the
had
actual
issues.
mountain.
Because I was going to say, why did they get rid of it?
Well, it's still there. It just doesn't move.
Is it because it kept moving kept the structural mountain there?
I think that the figure's frame was starting to split.
Yeah.
And so it was like causing malfunctions and just causing problems. And I think it would cost more to repair them than it would be to just replace them.
Pretty much.
No, I get it, yeah.
But to replace them, they'd have to put the whole thing down for a long period of time because he's actually built into the structure.
Yeah. But obviously it was billed as actually having this Yeti that went for, sort of stuff, and when it worked, everyone was like, this is amazing. And then obviously it then stopped working and people then were like up in arms, and that's when Disco Yeti came out and they wrote
But the thing
song.
is, though, is even without the Yeti moving, it's still really well done. The only thing I don't like about it now is that when you go, it's about to do a spoiler alert here, but when you come through the first bit and then you go up and you get to the bit where the tracks have been ripped, if you look to either side of you now, it looks like just there's some kind of weird competition where people have got to ping their hair bubbles onto the mountain, and it's just a sea of hair bubbles, and it just irritates me because.
I would not waste a hair bubble.
But it would be so easy for somebody to just go up and get the bubbles down.
Get rid of them all.
It's you know what I mean, when you're on such a highly themed attraction and it's ruined by some hair bubbles.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why people do that. I wouldn't like to waste a hair bubble. I get annoyed when I lend my friend a hair bubble and they don't give it back.
People ruin everything, Susan.
That's right. For long, people are going to start graffitiing on it. They're going to have like pens on the end of selfie sticks.
Has anyone got stuck on that ride before?
No, never been stuck on it. But,
I know a few people have been stuck.
No, never had that joy. I've never been stuck on a Disney attraction ever. I've never had
Neither have
to.
I.
I've been stuck on plenty, me.
Yeah, you have. Never been evac.
I've been dragged off and everything.
I've been stuck on 2 different pirates.
You have, which is true, and the ride.
And Space Mountain.
So.
And Space Mountain.
Yeah, Walt Disney World Space Mountain.
Yes, yeah, you did. This is true.
And Winnie the Pooh.
So what's have you got another memory, John, of kind of time?
Yeah, I'm gonna take us to right up to the modern day.
Yeah, go on then.
And I'm going to tell you something that's going to stick with me now forever and ever and ever was the first time I walked into Pandora.
Right.
I think you could look at 1,000 pictures of it and nothing kind of really prepares you for it, because you don't get that depth that you get in real life.
No.
And you don't get that size and you don't get that scale. Now, I've never seen Avatar, so I had no kind of background source of information to go off. I had no point of reference. So to just walk in and just see this blush fauna and flora and the mountains just floating there, and just everything is just so organic, and it just blew me away. And then walking into the queue for Flight of Passage and it being essentially a walk-on, because it had poured down with rain for about 2 hours before, so everybody had left the park.
Yeah.
And just walking through this queue, and it was the only time I got to walk through the standby queue, and just every single, because obviously it was brand new as well, every single bit of detail is just so well thought and it's so well constructed.
Yeah.
And then going on Flight of Passage itself and coming off Flight of Passage and walking out, and my friends were like, John, are you okay? Because I hadn't spoke for about 10 minutes. I was just so blown away by just the whole experience of Pandora, between walking into it and doing that Flight of Passage to having a blueberry cheesecake at the restaurant. It just, the whole lot is just so impressive.
Yeah.
It's got me genuinely buzzing for Star Wars.
Well, that's the thing, you know. If the rest of the land's going to be anywhere near as good as
even the Navi River journey, it's spectacular.
Yeah. If you've never seen the Yeti move, by the way, Susan, if you go into YouTube and search for something called Building a Thrill Ride, Expedition Everest, and someone's put it in parts, and it's part 4, and in part 4 they actually show you how they're beginning to animate the Yeti, and you can see just how big he is and just how he works.
Oh, okay.
So you'll find it on there. So that's for anybody else as well who obviously has never seen it. Do check that out. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Pandora, because I want to see how immersive it is and how brilliant it is. I'm not, because it's Avatar, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'm not interested in the Avatar element, but really looking forward to seeing the technology that you've used for the flight and for the river ride. So.
Yeah. How big is it? Like, because people say it's tiny, the land itself.
Oh, it's not very big. It's not massive.
But it's not about it, it's how well themed it is, I think, isn't it?
And it
is
is certainly that.
So small, it's, you know, really, really well themed, which is awesome.
And I love it at night, it becomes something completely different.
And I heard a lot of criticism about that, and I can tell you now, it's actually really well done.
Okay. That's good.
It's actually quite well done. And yes, okay, it's just a bit of UV paint here and there, but do you know what? It's actually really good. It's really impressive. And you can hear
that dark?
Is it that dark?
Yeah, because I've heard people complain that they're like getting bashing around and they trip over things because it's really dark. Is it that dark?
No, that's just people being idiots.
Is that the official term for this?
It's like these are the same people that try and sue Disney because they tried to move during the Main Street Electrical Parade and tripped over the curb because it was dark. And
that's sort of
even though and then tried to sue them because they didn't get warnings, even though they give like 5 different warnings in 5 different languages. Yeah. It's just people are idiots.
Okay.
And to be fair, they were probably texting.
That's probably true. So memories-wise, have you got any more there, Susan?
Not in terms of like sort of first time like feeling sort of memory. It's just kind of obviously as everything, like you just go around and try to. I really liked
stuff.
The is it Flights of Wonder? I loved that.
Yeah,
show.
the old Flights of Wonder that's now up. A Great Bird Adventure.
Great Bird Adventure.
Very nice.
I tell you what, I didn't really take advantage of the food, which I should have done.
Now, food-wise, have we got places like go-to places that we must eat in Animal Kingdom?
So I would definitely recommend the Satuli Canteen.
Yeah.
The cheeseburger pods are tasty, but even if you don't have the cheeseburger pods and you have like the main meal mix that you can do, you can like choose like a different meat. You can choose a veggie, you can choose like a grain. It's really tasty food, but it's worth going in just for the cheesecake.
Yeah.
Because it's so impressive, the cheesecake, and it does taste delicious. And I think if you want to do character dining, but you also want incredibly good food, Tusker House.
Yeah, Tusker House, good place. I have a real thing for Yak and Yeti local food cafe.
I've never eaten there.
I don't know why, but I have. It's kind of Asian food, and part of it is because it comes in proper like American takeaway kind of Chinese pots, which I think is part of it. But I've never had bad food from there, and it's not particularly expensive, and it's not particularly adventurous or wonderful. But I just think the food's really good, and it's really easy to get hold of, and it's quite easy to eat on the go and that sort of stuff as well. But I've always enjoyed food from there. But I do like the sound of the Satuli canteen. I think food-wise, the food-wise in Animal Kingdom, I think has improved over the years. And when it initially first opened, it was very much your staple kind of Disney fare. I remember going in the early days, and it was just burgers and in McDonald's here and there and everywhere. And then they've gradually got better with the food as they've gone on, and there's now quite a good kind of selection of stuff you can get in the Animal Kingdom now, which is really good. I remember, is it the Dino? Not Dino. Rostaurantosaurus.
Restaurantosaurus, yeah.
Just a massive McDonald's when it first opened. I was really disappointed.
It's probably also worth mentioning as well that in Animal Kingdom you can get a Dole Whip with rum.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. And you can have your choice of rum as well.
Yeah, you can.
So if you have it with coconut rum, it's like having a pina colada.
Nice.
It is nice. I have to say the portion's smaller than a regular Dole Whip.
Whereabouts do you get that from now? It's not the Darwa
so
bar,
that is from Africa.
Is it the Darwa
in Africa.
bar?
Is it what?
The Darwa bar.
I don't recall the name of it, but it's the little one on the corner that's behind where the drummers play.
It's Tamu Tamu.
Oh, it could be Tamu
Tamu
actually.
Tamu. Yeah, it is.
Is that the one behind where the drummers play?
Yeah, it's Tamu Tamu.
Yeah,
it's got to be. I'm trying to think if I've got any other kind of really standout memories. I remember having some really good interaction with one of the characters in Jammy Jungle where they stole a jumper and put it in the bin. That was quite funny. I can't remember who it was now. I think it might be one of the Jungle Book characters. I think it might be Baloo or something like that. I can't remember which character it was. I remember that being really, really funny. And a little bit different, because that's the first time I'd really seen a character like that do something that isn't within their nature, so to speak.
It is Tamu Tamu.
It is Tamu Tamu, there we go.
Yeah.
And my final one is, it's got to be the Wilderness Explorers. I just think it's such a clever idea to do the kind of Wilderness Explorers trail, and the stuff that kids get out of it and really enjoy it. And actually, the thing with it is, obviously we had the Wilderness Explorers books when we did it. Chris Speed, who used to do the show with us, we were out there with him, and his kids did every single activity in the book, and went and did the whole of the Animal Kingdom in the day and did every single activity and got every single badge, that's dedication in itself. But I think it's really clever because kids really enjoy the activities and they don't realise they're actually learning something new at the time of them actually doing it. I remember learning something about elephants and bees, because elephants are scared of bees, and they had an issue in Africa with elephants trampling all over the crops. So what they did is they positioned, and Disney helped do this, they positioned beehives at the edge of fields to prevent elephants from coming across the fields in order to trample on the crops. And Disney were kind of involved in the innovation. It's just like little things like that you learn that you don't really consider or think about, which are really cool, which I quite enjoy.
Animal Kingdom staff members as well.
Yes.
Cast members, I find, especially when you're going through some of the animal walkthroughs, they know their stuff.
They really do.
And genuinely do not be afraid to ask them any questions, and do not be afraid to give up 20 minutes of your time to have a chat to them about the animals, because it's fascinating what they know.
It is, yeah. We went through the Gorilla Falls exploration trail, And as we were going through it, we stopped. I think was it by the large gorilla enclosure, and there was a cast member sat down playing, or had got a game, a very traditional African game in front of them, and Harry sat down and played a game with this cast member, and obviously this cast member knows exactly how to play this game because it's obviously from their heritage, and she sat there and let Harry win, and taught him how to play this game. It's a little bit like drafts, if I remember rightly. But it's little things like that. You go, they'll play games with you. They'll talk to you about their homeland. They'll tell you about the animals, all those sort of things. And it's really fascinating, some of the stories and the things that they come up with. It is really.
And you can just have like a bit of a boogie as well. That when you've got those street bands that are playing.
There's
always
especially in
sort of
Harambe. Those drummers,
the drums in Harambe are
fantastic.
amazing. Yeah, they are good. The ones down in Harambe.
Right, because they can get they get people up and dancing and everything. It's just fun.
And I tell you what else, it's a really good place to meet some really unique characters as well. So, for example, you can meet Tarzan there.
Yes.
And Flick.
Flick and Atta, quite often.
And Pocahontas. And
because Pocahontas seems to be the only remnants left. Because do you remember the show Pocahontas and Her Forest Friends?
You call it a show.
Well, it was a little thing, and it's like that disappeared, and Pocahontas never left. She was kind of still in the same place a little bit as well. That was on.
She is. And then who else have you got? Russell.
Yes, Russell.
He's
usually
there.
Russell, Doug, Carl sometimes is out there.
Yeah. So there's some good characters there as well.
Actually, there's one place we forgot to mention, and that's Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Oh, yes, I met a goat out there. He was awesome.
I met a goat out
there was a goat out there called Sheldon. I remember meeting a goat called Sheldon who was named after the character from Big Bang Theory. I remember the cast member telling me. And I remember also very, very clearly, because tigers are my absolute favourite animal in the history of the world. I love tigers. And I remember being in Rafiki's Planet Watch, and I was able to watch them operating on a tiger because something had happened to it.
That's right. Yes, they do that, don't they?
So they do operate, and you can look in and see what they're doing, and you can go and talk to the cast members who are preparing the food for all the animals as well, and they tell you what they feed all of the animals. And you can usually meet Rafiki in Rafiki's Planet Watch as well, obviously. And then they have the petting area that's up there, and you have the nice little train that takes you up there, which is quite cool. But it's actually a nice little area, and it's an area that quite often people kind of bypass because they don't realise what's up there. But yeah, watching them operate on a tiger was amazing. Just seeing them do that.
I bet. Because they do sometimes have like a schedule of the animals that they're due to operate on.
They do. They do that. Yeah, and you can go.
They've usually got like an awesome bird or something in that area as well.
Yeah, which is really cool. So it's
and then of course you can meet the goats.
So
goat.
And it's cooler to actually ride that kind of old style kind of
it's like
train.
a tea train almost, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like it as well. It's cool. But all in all, I do enjoy Animal Kingdom. I think it's not my favourite park, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's my second favourite park.
Second favourite park.
John, did you get to see Rivers of Light? Because obviously I missed it when I went there.
See, I purposely kept Rivers of Light out of the conversation because I know what everyone's going to say.
Yeah, I did.
Can't forget their nighttime.
You won't be going to see it again, will you?
Oh. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Moving on. Yeah.
But you know what? It serves a purpose. That's what I'll say. I'll be quite diplomatic about it and say that it serves a purpose. It wasn't for me, but I do know some people. But I know some people that do like it. But then I've been spoiled by watching things like Fantasmic.
Yeah.
And World of Colour.
The colour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, even the Fountain of Nations and Epcot does a better show. But there we go.
I will go and see it, but I'm not.
Definitely do it. Like I wouldn't tell anybody to skip it.
No, but it's not.
But don't put a fast
It's
pass
not a Fantasmic. It's not a.
We did it as a dining. We did it as Tusker House dining.
Right. Okay.
Package, and we were going to eat at Tusker House anyway. So.
It's a bonus.
So you even got a
really,
premium
then.
view.
It was a bonus.
That's fair enough.
It was a bonus. Also, one thing I will mention as well is if you're there with your magic band when you're going through the queue of Everest, whether you're going through the regular queue or whether you're going through the fast pass queue, just before you get outside into the station where you board the trains, look at the screen.
Yes, I was just about to, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, the screens where your names come up. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
And see if you spot yourself.
Yeah. So all in all, we all quite like Animal Kingdom.
Definitely.
Which is pretty good, because I like Animal Kingdom as well.
It's just, I think it's an easygoing park.
Yes. It's the hottest
It's not
park.
too intense. You can do it at your own pace.
It's the hottest
Well, you've got
park.
to because it's so hot.
Well, the thing is, it's not
That's
just that
true.
it's so hot. It's also that apparently because of all the foliage, it also means that the temperature is up to 10 degrees hotter than it is elsewhere.
Whew.
Casmo Rusteners, which is pretty hot. So there you go. Well, I think that'll round up this week. Talking about Animal Kingdom. Well, happy 20th anniversary, Animal Kingdom. I'm pretty certain you'll be around for many, 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 many more years. And I have no doubt we'll probably expand even further as we go. But yeah, that's it from us for this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. We're going to be talking about Disney honeymoons in a couple of weeks. We've had a question from a listener who wants to talk a little bit about Disney honeymoons and ideas for that. So we're going to talk about it in a couple of weeks. So please do join us for that one if you want to. Of course, you can email us any comments, questions, suggestions, even to do with Disney honeymoons, anything like that. You can email us, it's radio@disneybrit.com. You can also go over to our Twitter @DisneyBrit. You can go to our Instagram @DisneyBrit, and you can go to our Facebook, which is /DisneyBrit podcast. You can go and see us over there as well. And you can go to disneybrit.com and you can find out all of the past episodes that we've got, as well as finding them on iTunes, as well as finding them as live shows on YouTube as well. So we've got loads and loads and loads of stuff. And obviously when we go out to fan days and that sort of stuff, we'll be doing live YouTube stuff, we'll be posting videos and all sorts of stuff. So do make sure you follow us in all those particular areas and you'll get to see everything that's going on with fan days, with our costumes, with us just looking genuinely silly, and all those sort of things. I don't think there's anything else, is there? Have I missed anything?
Just fan days, keep your eye on our Instagram, because Susan and I will be
Instagramming
caning the Instagram, yeah.
And don't be shy to come say hello to us.
Yes, yeah, and we need to find out how many people are going really to fan days, and if we've got enough interest of people that are going, then we'll try and sort of maybe arrange a meet up and say hello to everybody, even if it's just for half an hour in a park or something like that, and just say hello, which would be cool. Right, well, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We hope you have a lovely couple of weeks. Fingers crossed by this time, the next time we talk to you, the sun might have come back out again, which would be great, because it's getting miserable again in Britain. We don't like it. But we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a lovely couple of weeks. Until then, we'll see ya. Happy birthday, Animal Kingdom.